Welcome to the Crazy Hat Chemist. So here we go, number 8 video on bonding. So, bam! So today we're going to be talking about the crystalline structure of the unit cell. So a crystalline structure is formed when a repeating geometric pattern forms. And that is the smallest repeating pattern is called a unit cell. Okay, so we see unit cells all the time when we have things organized. So there are these nuts right here. We see this repeating pattern of these nuts. We can repeat that pattern over and over and over again. There are other repeating patterns within those nuts that you could probably see also, but that is the simplest one. That would be a unit cell. It's highlighted in yellow. Okay, also when we go to the fruit stand, we would see also repeating units. So here's a repeating unit here for these tomatoes. And so this is a repeating unit. And there is something in the middle, that's okay, but there's a repeating unit of where these tomatoes are located. We can repeat that over and over. That is a unit cell. So let's figure out what a unit cell is in terms of chemistry. Okay, so right here, this simple structure, and I have one of those right here. That's this one right here. This one right here. Hopefully you see that. Bam, right there. Bam. Beautiful. Okay, this one is called a simple cubic because it is a cube. That's why it's a simple cubic. There's nothing on the face. There's nothing in the middle. Okay, it does have 8 corners. Okay, there's 1/8 of an atom per each corner because there's an assumption that this simple cubic is associated with another adjacent cubic on the side, also on the other side, on top, on bottom, on the front, on the back. So you need to think about this 3-dimensionally. There's 1 atom in total in this simple cubic. Okay, the coordination number is 6. That means that 6 other atoms would be adjacent to this 1 atom here if we had other cubics surrounding it. Okay, polonium is the example here, and these are relatively rare. There are not very many elements which follow this simple cubic pattern. Okay, this next one right over here is right here. Okay, that one is this one here. Never mind the silver parts that are holding the atoms together. You have to imagine that the silver parts are not actually holding them together. Okay, this is a body-centered cubic, and it's a body-centered cubic because there's a whole atom right smack dab in the middle. Hopefully you should see that. That's why it's a body-centered cubic. There are 8 corners, just like on the simple cubic, and there's 1/8 of an atom at each corner, just like a simple cubic. There's 1 atom in the center and 1 atom in total of the corner, so that would be 2 atoms total as the whole. And then the coordination number is 8 on this one. Okay? All right, and the elements which do this are iron, chromium, sodium, vanadium, a bunch of them. Tungsten, there's a number of elements of which have this body-centered cubic type structure. All right, the next one here is this one right here, and that is a face-centered cubic. So a face-centered cubic has an atom right at the face, okay? There are 8 corners of the simple cubic and the body-centered cubic, just like before, but with the face-centered cubic, there's 1/8 of an atom at each of the corners. And then there are 6 faces, just like on a die, because it is a square or a cube, and that's 1/2 of atom at each face. Therefore, there's 4 atoms total, and the coordination number is 12. So that is a face-centered cubic. Okay, elements which do this are aluminum and lead, nickel, copper, silver, and gold. You should see that there's a pattern there with that. Okay, here's a hexagonal closed-pack structure here. This has 6 lattice points, 3 lattice points, and 6 lattice points total. Okay, and so titanium and zinc and magnesium and cadmium do this. And that is this type structure. I don't have a physical model of that, so hopefully you can see that on the screen there. Okay, these unit cells are either cubic, tetra, like a tetra structure. There's mono, there's ortho, there's tri. So it depends on how many layers and how many faces there are. So we're going to look at this and take a look at our periodic table, and there are some repeating patterns on our periodic table with regards to the unit cell. Okay, so a simple cubic, body-centered cubic, face-centered cubic, hexagonal, orthorhombic, and a tetragonal. Tetragonal. So hexagonal is hydrogen, and then hexagonal for these also. Okay, but this whole entire group of the alkali metals are the body-centered cubics. That's pretty cool. Then you should see that these two rows with the nickel, the lead, the platinum, the copper, the silver, the gold, that's all face-centered cubic structures. Okay, oxygen and phosphorus are the simple cubic structures. We also have orthorhombic structures with uranium and sulfur, okay, bromine and iodine, some of the halogens. And then we also have the tetragonal structure here, and that's like tin and chlorine. Okay, I am the Crazy Hat Chemist, and 247 hike. Give me a thumbs up on that video, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bam.